Chat, this game is fun, bro. There's so many things you have to think about in neutral, right? Like, as Ken, medium kicks are so hit or miss, and quite literally more hit and miss than it's ever been. Usually in third strike, you would want to throw out some low forwards and medium kicks, and usually you wouldn't be able to be punished by it, but at the same time, the drawback is that both players will be able to reset neutral. But now, with some of the stuff that the game actually has implemented, I think that neutral is now dictated by who has the bigger bar, right? It basically spells, okay, neutral's gonna be very easy for me. I just need to throw some projectiles, like, you know, like stand my ground here, make you force yourself for you to be able to lose a little bit more bar, and stuff like that, you know what I mean? I say all that to say that, like, when you remove, like, you know, Wei and neutral, replace it with something like, you know, your neutral, it is tug of war. It definitely is tug of war. Seven little, like, ends on each rope, but at the end of the day, the middle of it is still a single rope. Like, you know, at the end of the day, it's still Street Fighter neutral, but at the same time, now you have to figure out which rope you want to tug in order to be able to get through it. That's the perfect analogy, Silver Puppy. I just called you Silver Puppy. What the hell? Hush Puppy. That reason alone, that I think that this game is a lot more fun, like on a competitive level, than most other Street Fighter games, right? Like, they really broke so many molds. They changed how fundamentally, like, you know, parries work. Drive, which you would think would function like focus, kind of does. There's many other ways for you to, like, to break it. There's, like, it's 3 hits instead of the usual 2. There is the wall pressure. Being able to get the opponent to the wall, but at the same time not making your wall pressure so predictable to go for the drive. Like, as y'all can see from me and Hush Puppy's, like, you know, play, he was punishing me a lot for those drives, right? And that made me use it a little bit less and use it as a mix-up tool. Ken's supers isn't something that you just throw out in neutral. Ken's supers are stuff that you just want to throw out, like, you know, after you get a proper neutral win, right? And usually when you're playing Ken, it's pretty easy to get them into the corner, which means there's no reason to use the meter, because there's a lot more corner pressure to do. I can almost always go for level 3s if I'm comfortable enough. And even then, Ken's level 2 makes it so if I punish you correctly, it can take off pretty much most of your bar. Let alone them wanting to use an EX move in neutral, which most players like to do. You know what I mean? Yeah, you have to, like, think about it at all times, right? Yeah, Burnout, like, I remember someone saying yesterday that Burnout is Street Fighter 2 Turbo, like the Super Turbo, and I agree. You know what, like, after playing, you know, that matchup for, like, as long as I did, yes, Burnout mode is insanely Super Turbo. It permeates your entire neutral. There's enough chip for it to actually become a problem. And also the block stun, like, let alone the block stun, I'm saying, but, like, it hurts some characters more than others, because Ryu is lucky enough to have a Shinku Hadoken to deal with that burnout state. I feel like that him having that, like, can negate that a lot, which is something that he definitely needs. He definitely needs that. Whereas if you're playing a character like Ken, maybe Juri, not Guile. Guile's projectiles are usually pretty good anyways. Yeah, some characters get hurt by burnout mode more than others. Again, it permeates the entire game, and in a good way too. I say all this to say, chat, that in terms of mechanics and how the game is played, and comparing to other Street Fighters, I'm gonna be very bold. This is my favorite Street Fighter game to play. Like, it feels so much, like it's so much fun. And this is coming from me, who loves Third Strike, like, a lot, right? Like, I loved how parry works in Street Fighter Third Strike, as well as, like, you know, how neutral is usually played, the damage that each character can get off of one successful interaction, how the game feels, like, you know, like, in terms of, like, you know, how the hits actually, how the impact feels in game, which I was kind of worried about for this game. Like, I was actually kind of worried that this game would not have a lot of impact on punch, but after seeing, like, you know, from the trailers alone, I was obviously wrong. The game has a lot more impact. It feels more oomph when you actually get hit. It feels like that every little thing, you feel the damage that you're pulling out or receiving, you know what I mean? Now, in terms of music, I think that the better of the music is in the stage selections rather than the character themes, and that's just my honest opinion. I get the style they're trying to go for, right? And they've done it before. I just don't know. Like, I feel like the character themes are kind of meh. The only character theme I like is Chun-Li's, right? Chun-Li, oh man, she has my favorite character theme, like, in the entire game. And I know a lot of people keep on saying that, oh no, Jamie has the best one. Jamie. I get it. No, I get it. Like, a lot of people like Jamie's theme. Me, I think it's kind of mid. Guile's theme is okay. Ken's theme is okay. I don't like Ryu's theme. Juri's theme I like. I like Juri's theme. And Kimberly, I think it's annoying. But Kimberly's theme, like, tunes in when she does her level 3, no matter what the stage music it is or the character theme there is. Which kind of makes me kind of, like, annoyed. Like, I'm listening to a song that I like, yeah, oh my god, this song's great. But it gets interrupted by Kimberly's Super, and personally, I don't like it. With that being said, it's also kind of cool that if you have a mirror match between two Kimberlys, there's actual lyrics in the song that's played. That's cool. Again, I just don't want it to get in the way of it. You know what I mean? Like, that could easily annoy me. Also, one major gripe I have about this game, right? I know that that you can actually change your default, but I'm gonna say this right now, right? Modern controls should not be the default controls, right? Now, I know why they did it. They're catering a lot to casuals when it comes to watching the game, let alone play it, right? But the game is fundamentally slower than most, you know, Street Fighter games, like, you know what I mean? As well as it being the talk of the town. Like, Capcom realizes this, and they're like, okay, there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna come into this game and not gonna know how to do these inputs, right? Now, I have no problems with modern controls, right? I have no problems with that, right? The problem that I have is that you force it as a default option, which already kind of says a lot with your intentions with making this game, number one. And number two, it becomes very annoying, especially when the game does not really properly tell you how to actually set the default, right? Of course, up there, like on the top right, you can see you can press square, right? But I was playing this game for 2 days straight, and I have not noticed it at all, right? And there's so many different choices, like there's different times in which you're actually navigating the menus, and there should be like certain sections in which, are you sure you should do this at the third, right? Number one should be going on these goddamn arcade cabinets. Like, are you sure it should be one of those, right? You know how they have, like, you know, on like the square, the change character, right? It should not be up there. That should not be up there. That should be one of the four. I'm gonna hide my camera right now. It should be among one of these four options, right? Because I swear to God, a lot of the stuff is very easy to see down here than it is on the upper right. Like, that's personally, in my opinion, kind of bad UI choice. You know what I mean? Now back to what I'm about to say about the modern and classic controls thing, right? Capcom, you know who's gonna be playing your game, right? Capcom, you know who's gonna be playing your game. Both casual and competitive players alike are gonna be playing your game. It's just a matter of figuring out who's gonna stay, right? For you to have your controls on modern controls as default, you have to remember which one of the players out of the two are gonna stay. And then, like, you know, once the casual players leave, if they do, hopefully they do not, because this game has, like, it's looking like it's gonna have a lot of content. You have to understand that at the end of the day, the game, like, a game like this cycle is casual competitive players play it for the first couple, like, you know, months, maybe even years, and then, like, later on, the competitive players are going to be playing the game only, and casual players are going to leave a little bit because there's going to be more talk of the town type of games, because there's already going to be a community established for this game. Those players that play in the future, or at least players that come during the competitive, like, you know, okay, the competitive, well, I'm only playing the game for competitive, has to take the default off of modern and onto classic. That's annoying. That is annoying, and that's in my opinion, that is very annoying. Also, another problem with the UI, if you see right next to the name, or right next to the console, you see C, and then you, like, there's also M, right? I have C because I set it to default C. Again, it's another matter of, okay, what am I looking at? And they're like, oh, okay. Again, it's something you get used to, but it's something I didn't want to have to get used to, you know what I mean? I don't want to have to press X and then look at my player card. I was like, no, I see C instead of M. Again, it's another UI choice. I get it. I get why, but, like, I think that everything that you should be able to do on arcade cabinet should be on the bottom where the UI is. Like, where the main four UI options are. Other than that, this game is great. This game is pretty great. It looks so bad. Okay. Worse than Fortnite? Wow. Okay.